Has anyone seen the Hollywood Pompeii guy?
What up, America? It's your boy Hollywood Pompeii, aka Pizzle for Shizzle. My nizzle, you right now. Sizzle when I drizzle, you dig. Got my man Yoson in the building. We've been working on a couple projects these past couple days, and I got an opportunity to sit down, get in his head a little bit. So I asked him if I could get this exclusive interview, and my man gave it to me. So we're gonna get right into it. Yoson, if you could just give the people a little bit of history about you, keep it real short, and then we'll get into the questions.
Yoson Tala is my name. It comes from one of my loved ones, my cousin, Dame G. It was his rap name before he passed. It means to expose truth, freedom is key. That's the origin of the definition. I'm from Gary, Indiana. I've been in the mud and rapping most of my life, all my life really. So that's really it.
Word.
Entertainment.
So yeah, let's get into that. So I know that you got a little background in other things outside of music. So if you could touch on that a little bit.
I started dealing with filming sets and TV shows and movies about 5-6 years ago. I got the chance to be a part of some background, some things which led to more background, which led to a stand-in, which led just a lot of working with TV shows and different things in Chicago mostly, and a few other places, mostly Chicago though.
That's lit. I see you do a lot of traveling too, man. So like, I ain't really get the chance to travel as much as you have, see as much as you have, but definitely seen some things. So I wanted to get into a conversation about the UK because I seen that you spent a little time over there, and it was just really intriguing to me how some of the lifestyle it's kind of similar. You know what I mean? Like the trench shit in particular is pretty similar, and I seen you in some trenches out there. So I wanted to talk about that. Like, is it the same? Like, what's the lifestyle like?
Yeah, most of the things are the same, but not the same.
Like what?
In different ways. In my opinion. So I lived over there for about 6 months or whatever. I was alone, of course, physically, and none of my team and staff come. But I made things do what it do. But I actually went out there to deal with some people, and those people was really on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They really was just trying to get a nigga out some money. And I peeped that shit. I smelled what they was on. I'm from Gary, Indiana, man. Like, I know all the finesse. You feel me?
Right.
You can't finesse the finesse. So I peeped that shit, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. It was finesse at its lowest standards ever. It was like the lowest, like, are you serious? Like, is this what y'all on? Do you know where I'm from? Like, for real, I felt like that. So I peeped the shit, but God already had put the right people around me in that short amount of time. So I know one thing about the world: when it seems like it's something bad or it seems like it's a jam, it's always an escape route. Even in the worst position, it's always an escape route, especially in the world we live in. And if you don't think that, you should think that, because look at the world and the shit people have done and got away with. So it's always an escape route. You know, motherfuckers murder people every day and come back home. Innocent people, you know what I'm saying? Multiple, and so on and so forth for fucked up shit that people get away with.
Right.
But I peeped that, like, they hoods and shit was hood and shit, don't get me wrong. Niggas is getting stabbed and shit like that, a lot of fights. But at the time I was there, like, niggas ain't really getting shot every day though. You know what I'm saying? They police don't even have guns.
What's the blocks like? Like they got gangs, cliques,
The
neighborhoods.
police
Like,
don't even have guns. It's gonna be so-called gangs or cliques everywhere. They
Right.
definitely get into the money over there.
Right.
And there's definitely some street niggas over there, don't get me wrong. But
is it like neighborhood
the
gangs, or is it like?
aggressiveness of it is a little different or something, you know, because it's not so much guns, you feel me?
Right. So
Guns
they
are there, but
in
they're
your
way more rare.
Right. So
The
they
police don't even have guns, like I said.
They got bobby sticks or
They
some
got
shit.
body sticks and
Yeah.
shit. Like, niggas out there fighting the police.
So these
Like,
niggas really
nigga
in your
ain't
face with it because they ain't no guns.
They
right?
with the fighting. They
They
fighting
with
and stabbing motherfuckers for
Right.
sure. They
But
with
like-
the shit. They definitely gang banging and all this shit.
So
but
the gangbanging
it
part.
just ain't as aggressive. Like, motherfuckers ain't.
Are they like
people ain't getting killed.
smaller neighborhood gangs? Or are they like big city gangs? Like, you know,
Nah, I
LA
would
got
say,
big
like,
Crips, Bloods,
Nah,
and they all.
I didn't see that. It's probably some Crips and Bloods over
No,
there,
not
pretty sure.
Do they have their own like type of Crips and
Oh
Bloods?
yeah, they got the. I don't know about that. They got their own type of gangs though.
But are they like really big, like how the Crips and Bloods are? Or is it like neighborhood
gangs? I don't really know
gangs?
about that, how big they are.
Yeah.
I can't really speak on that.
Got you.
I wouldn't know.
That shit, I was always curious.
I definitely know there's niggas out there on the same shit, niggas.
Yeah, because I be
old public housing type areas.
Right.
Niggas is getting to a bag. They still got projects
Right.
out there, project buildings and
Right.
shit. And motherfuckers getting to it.
Because I'll be wondering, like, you see, in New York you'll find Bloods, LA you'll find Bloods, and that's thousands of miles away. And in between you'll find Bloods and Crips, and you go to New York you find Crips, you go to New York you find Latin Kings, you go to LA you find Crips, you go to LA. You
sure.
So I always wonder, like,
spread it around.
Right. So I'll be wondering in the UK if they got big, like, I want to call them commercial gangs, I guess, like their own version, like UK bangers.
I'm pretty sure they probably do.
All up and
But
down.
I'm pretty
that
sure
shit.
they got their own shit too.
Right,
I'm
right.
pretty sure they do though.
Like some big commercial type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it is, it's probably that biker shit.
The word get around on things, you know.
Yeah. I be seeing.
It's always somebody turning some set up.
You know what made me think that shit?
In the world.
The Sons of Anarchy. I watched the Sons of Anarchy one time. You ever watched the Sons of Anarchy?
For sure.
Yeah. So you see how they got the that biker chapter out in
Right.
Ireland and shit.
Right. Yeah.
But them niggas, they really big out in Ireland.
Yeah,
So
no, for
that shit just
sure.
had me think. I'm like, yo.
You gotta think about how did these things that came from one place get to all these other places anyway.
Facts.
So what makes you think just because of that's nothing? That's a flight. That's
Right.
a flight away. The same way people traveling in America, people are internationally traveling the same way.
Right.
Not as many, but a lot of Americans travel worldwide all the time. International trips, like
Right. So they take a shit.
back and forth to Mexico, back and forth to London, back and forth to Africa, back and
Right.
forth, like
Right.
making moves, like. And so information gonna get translated.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was lit. And you see a lot of that going on, vice versa though. So you see a lot of the I want to say UK vibe kind of coming in and inspiring or motivating people on the East Coast right now. Where vice versa, it was like, you know, America kind of influenced the world or whatever.
Right.
But now the UK.
When I was there, yeah, I always peeped that. I liked it a lot of shit about how they got down. Like they got grime, which is a genre.
You were telling me about that, yeah.
Grime rappers, and that's like their own style. That's like something different outside the hip hop.
If you could compare somebody to grime, or if you could say somebody close to grime, who would you say is the closest to like the grime sound, like their grime sound?
I can't really compare nobody in America that I know off top that I could compare to a grime sound. It's just their own thing.
Right. So it's like real like hardcore underground shit, or
It's
is
just
it more?
grime. It's like how they deliver it.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's not even the
delivery.
context.
It's the delivery.
Okay.
It's more or less the delivery.
So it's not what they're talking about or nothing. It's,
Yeah, it's just how they talking about it, how they delivering it. Yeah.
Got it.
It's big, it's huge in the world. Niggas cashing checks and flights off that shit right now, touring around the world off that shit, and been doing that.
Damn.
It's big. I don't know how big it is now, but I wouldn't see why it got any bigger. I mean, any smaller.
Any smaller, right?
That shit was expanding in, and it's been some years.
Nah, you just definitely put me on.
That shit, it's genres of shit in the world that's big. It's underground shit. It's cult shit. Like, there be shit going on in the world at the big state. Only them people who know about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I definitely be hearing that in your music. Like, just, you know, in these last few days, getting to really analyze some of the music. Like, you know, we've been hearing your music. Everybody's been hearing your music. But there's a difference between hearing and really sitting down, trying to understand something. You know what I mean? Breaking it down for what it is. Mm-hmm. And, like, I feel like you be having certain, like, coded shit in your music. it's certain shit that you got that is just meant for if you know, you know type shit, right? So I peeped that, you know what I mean? I peeped that, and it got me digging, and it got me thinking, and it got me really listening to the certain things that really inspire your sound as well, and inspire the music. And I noticed that, you know, the ancestors are a part of that. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to disrespect anybody by necessarily calling it a religion or calling it a culture, but I know that you live a certain type of life that not everybody else lives, and you're in tune with certain things and tapped in to certain things that not everybody else is tapped into. And I wanted to see if you could elaborate on that a little bit. I know you're wearing a piece of clothing right now that represents that as well. Oh, yeah. You were telling me about a little bit earlier.
Shout out to Ori, Original, Nandi, Nano, and Jay Banda. Two of my brothers, they have a dope clothing line. It's about the Orisha. That's probably what you talking about.
Right, Orisha. Right. Yeah. So what is the Orisha?
The forces of nature. You know. Yeah.
How can that?
It's a lot of Orishas. It's hundreds of Orishas actually.
Right.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah. What is your connection to that and the music? Because I hear a lot of it in the music. Like, are you
personally, Like,
Are you educating people, or are you just venting?
I only educate those who wish to be educated.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because information ain't for everybody.
Right.
When you understand the world, how I understand the world, some things are only supposed to be passed down to certain people.
Right.
Because when you understand the power of secrets,
right,
then you understand that everybody don't deserve to know secrets.
Understood.
Because they don't even understand it. Their
Right.
conscious level of their mind ain't even ready to conceive the thought of it.
Right.
So that information ain't for everybody, you feel me?
It might fuck around and overload like a computer and just
Real
break down
knowledge
some
and
shit.
information is passed down from secrets.
Right.
So the things you think you know from a book ain't enough.
Absolutely.
True secrets is passed down through a whisper in the air, you feel me?
Right.
That's how real high power people moving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So where does the Orisha come from?
The Orisha is, my understanding of Orisha, the Yoruba,
Right.
Africa, which is a place in Nigeria, which we call Ile Ife.
Okay. So I'm still brushing up on it a little bit myself. So that's definitely in connection and conjunction with the 7 African powers, correct?
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Definitely the same lane.
So there's just a lot of
We're
different.
talking about the gods of Africa.
Right. Right. So there's just a lot of different variations of the same thing.
Yes.
Got you.
Yeah.
Because I know off camera we were talking a little bit earlier about the islands. Different islands have the same exact thing, same concept, same rituals, same practices, but maybe different names or different twists.
Right.
To some of these things.
And it's like that because that's how it is, and that's how information get passed. And also in African culture, it's different. It's like Africans are like, what they doing in this village, they not gonna be necessarily doing that same exact thing in this village.
Right.
We might call Ifa, they might call him Fa.
Right.
Another place in another part of Africa might call him Afa.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And they might be worshiping certain Orishas that they used to worshiping in what they call them. And
Right.
another tribe or another village will be doing what they doing.
Right.
But the main thing is do what you taught by your Babalawo,
Right.
your teacher.
Right. Whoever's the one teaching.
If you a devotee and you a student, you listen to how you was taught in your tribe and your Ile, which is Yoruba for tribe.
Right.
You feel me? So that's how it go in Africa.
Gotcha.
We pay attention to our ways, and a lot of people respect other ways, and a lot of people is not,
Right.
We taught to pay attention to our own mat. You know what I'm saying? And,
Right.
and we ain't really concerned with nobody else doing.
Right. Like what
But we respect it though.
Right.
If
like
it teach peace and knowledge and and like positivity, period, we respect it.
Right.
No matter what it is, even if you Christian, Baptist, whatever you do.
Right. Now that makes
It ain't
sense.
really my concern to be about what you're doing.
So going back to the traveling, right? What's some of the craziest shit you seen overseas? And
Shit,
where?
Some of the shit in the club. Fights broke out. You know what I'm saying?
Where overseas were you? Because I know you traveled to a few different places.
Really, I've just spent a lot of time in London. I've been in places surrounding London too. Like
no, but I know you did Mexico and did.
I've been to Mexico
yeah,
for sure.
so that,
I've been to Mexico.
I ain't been to Mexico.
I stopped in, like Stockholm, Sweden before I stopped there.
Yeah, don't leave that out.
I had
Stop being humble, man.
Flight. A couple other places they have me on the transfer flights, but really like settling.
Right.
Then a couple of places I've been on for sure overseas.
So, all right.
When I was supposed to go to Africa, I couldn't because I had the vaccination. But now the mandate lifted, so I'll be in Africa soon. Facts. It's next on my list as far as international go.
UK or Mexico?
As
far as preference, what do you prefer?
Shit.
Where'd you like to be better?
About.
If you had to go right now, if you had to just pick up and go right, if you had to pick up and go right now, just pick up and go, and not overthink. If you just had to pick up and go, where you going?
Right now, I'm gonna go to London because it's all kind of shit.
Right.
Even though that motherfucker cost as fuck though.
Right.
Like you gotta know when you're going to London, this shit gonna cost you double and a half right now. Probably the way the currency exchange going.
That's crazy.
So that's when I say right now at this moment.
Right.
Because I'm fumbling my bag all kind of different ways. I'm up, I'm down, right now at this moment. That's just me being a buck.
Right.
You feel me? I was super up.
Right.
I went down a little bit. I went back up, and I'm just like shit. I'm trying to just. You know what I'm saying? It get tricky out here. So, that's why I say that because if I go to Mexico, I'm gonna have my way around Mexico for my dollar and what I feel comfortable paying, and I'm gonna have my way in Mexico.
Right.
We gonna have our way.
right.
But that experience in London
is different.
That shit gonna be different.
Yeah.
That shit gonna be different.
It's different.
It's gonna be a whole nother ball game. Whoever come with me gonna see a whole nother way of life for however much time we there.
Yeah.
In Mexico, we gonna get that. We know what's to expect there in Mexico.
Right. A good time.
Bitches, the babas, you know what I'm saying? Clubs, fucking and sucking. You know what I'm saying? For the dirt, you feel me?
Right. How long?
Not like that, but just saying we're gonna have our way. Pool in the living room, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have pool in the living room with Airbnb, you feel me?
He's confirming it. Like, this has happened.
Fresh fruits and all that shit.
This has happened plenty of times.
London, they gonna slap fire at our ass. The money we spend around that bitch. But I know how to rotate that motherfucker. But it's definitely cost worthy because pounds is what they use. That's the currency over there. Euros used to be around. Pounds is the ultimate currency over there. That shit is like, we take 10,000 US over there right now. Shit, that shit would be like 5,000 and something is pounds. That's gonna cut your money in half. Imagine that.
Yeah, you ain't getting nothing.
Imagine taking your 10, 20 bands, and when you get over there, that's your half of that in pounds. So now you got a whole nother thinking process about how you finna spend this money.
Right.
Because you ain't gonna think about it the same because you never knew. Some people don't be knowing about that type shit. If you internationally travel, of course, you know different currencies, different things. We outweigh something, and a lot of us don't. You know, pounds, they outweigh us.
How does that currency shit work with, like, Bitcoin? Does the price of Bitcoin change when you're in a different country, or it's the same?
Bitcoin, it's gonna be the same. I mean, of course, it's gonna change according to that currency. Yes.
To that. Oh, yes, okay, it changes to that. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I never knew how that worked.
Yeah, because all currencies is worth different things.
Gotcha.
That's what the foreign X is. The foreign exchange is. They change in exchange. They making money in between things, changing rates.
Got you.
Yeah, because just think about it. If we took that 10, 20 bands, we have to go exchange that money to get their money. So that what's gonna cost? What? An exchange rate. You're gonna pay a rate, you feel me?
Oh, so people just making money off the...
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh,
think about it, there's so many different ways to do it, you know, but everybody gonna make some money for sure.
Right. That's wild.
Yeah, they're gonna make some money off exchanging their bread.
Yeah, that's lit. I've heard people are doing, like, I've heard it before, like, I just never got the grasp of it, never understood it.
It's some shit, man. It's some shit. I fuck with the crypto a little bit, though. Like crypto. I believe in crypto. I believed in Bitcoin. And
so you think eventually it's gonna be done? You think the dollar's gonna be done with eventually?
Yeah, for
like no more dollar.
Yeah, eventually for sure. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like it's definitely headed in that direction.
Yeah. If you don't know, now you know.
So aside from the different places outside of the country that you've been to, where's some places within the United States that you done, you know, set your feet in that you got a nice stronghold on? You done moved around, built some good relationships.
I built a lot of relationships out here, man. That's one thing I can say I've done good. So we got a strong relationship building and support system in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been out there for years.
That's lit.
I had a couple of independent situations in this music shit out there. I built a lot of solid shit that's still growing to this day. Florida, Miami, preferably Broward County. Outside of Miami-Dade County, of course. Those areas, support and just strong resources there. Now in the last 3-4 years, a lot of West Coast, you know, Cali connections and a lot of Arizona connections, a lot of Vegas. Half my family in Vegas.
Oh, that's lit.
So it's just like I've been going to these same places that I'm naming like over and over. I've been drilling these places.
Right.
I've been in New York several times too, but not lately. Not in the last 3 to 5 years probably.
Right.
But all these other places I've been drilling that shit over and over on tours, independent shit, just running drills on promo runs just with these places for different reasons.
Creating like a route and just keep hitting them places.
Just keep hitting them and coming back around type shit.
Because
the energy be bringing me back, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And the consistency is important. You gotta stay consistent.
In places. And of course Chicago, because I'm right here in Gary, Indiana, right across the border in Chicago, so that's my market.
Right.
So I'm always fuck with that market as well, and I've been building with them my whole life.
Right.
I'm a Gary nigga, I've been fucking with Chicago niggas as a kid.
Right.
Plus some of my family over there,
right.
Cousins, aunties, you know what I'm saying?
So this next question is a little unorthodox, but I like to ask this question to a lot of people that I work with off camera just to see where their head is at. I just be liking to understand people a little bit more, right? So you do music. I know music is a passion of yours, right? Mm-hmm. If you could do a song with anybody in history, living or dead, it doesn't even have to be a musician. It could be like Albert Einstein. It could be, if you could sit in the studio for 10 hours and cook up with anybody in that has ever existed. It don't even got to be a real person. It could be like Mickey Mouse. Anybody. It could be anything. If you could sit, yo, for 10.
Goofy, I once upon a time. I'm getting the laugh with that nigga goofy asshole.
Yeah.
It was funny as hell.
But it could be anything or anybody. Anything or anybody for 10 hours. Lock
Ninja
it.
Turtles, I'm calling up, G. Tell them to slide on this. We finna get it in, gang shit.
Anybody.
Oh, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson?
Yeah, it'll be Mike for sure.
So it'll be another musician?
Yeah. To do a song with.
Yeah, it could be King Tut, bro.
I
It
don't
could
see
be
myself doing a song with anybody that don't do music.
You got 10 hours. You should show King Tut how to write a 16 or something, bro. Like this fucking King Tut, nigga.
I swallow you fucking playing with him about that shit, man. He be like, let me teach you something, man. Sit down in the corner right there. You want grapes, nigga? That's what he's holding. Nah. King Tut nigga was thugging shit. Nah,
They was
Mike though. Because it'd just be the experience. It'd just be the experience.
And I know you from Gary, Indiana, too. You know what I mean? I know he's definitely probably played a big part of
for sure. We Michael Jackson babies for sure. Like, we worship Mike.
What's your favorite album? I definitely grew up on Mike, too. My mom forced Mike on me.
That old shit is cool, though, but I'm more like an Invincible album. Like one of the albums, one of his last albums and type shit. The Invincible album.
Yeah.
I fuck with that shit. Hard to tell. I still listen to that shit.
What's
still got that feel like that shit goddamn dropped yesterday.
What's your favorite song by Mike?
My favorite song?
Yeah, your favorite song by Mike.
Shit, that's hard to say. I don't know. That's too many. I can't even lie.
This is gonna sound super soft from me, but mine gotta be. I think it's because the video is what sold it to me. You Were Not Alone. I was a kid.
That is one of them. That's a huge record.
That's a huge record.
That's big.
I was a kid when that record came out.
That's one of them for sure.
Yeah,
that's fucking big, man.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite.
That shit come on right now. That's just everybody in the room, old, young. You know, if you in tune with music and history, you fucking with that shit.
Yeah,
right? That'll bring multiple different kind of people together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mike, that type nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a big video too.
Everybody mad, nigga. Stop playing this. You playing rock. You playing rap. You playing this. Mike, come on. Everybody like fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. It's like common ground music.
And people jamming to 80s and 1, 2, 3s, man.
Can I relate?
Facts.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Mike, that nigga hungry.
So in all these different places that you done travel to.
For Mike.
In all these different places that you done travel to.
Nigga tattooed on my back.
You did say that. How big?
Got a picture of him as a kid on my shit. Dope as fuck.
How big is the tattoo on your back?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you that motherfucker. You see that right there with the hat on? I think he got a hat. As a child.
Oh yep. Yeah, he not playing.
Yeah, for sure. Big Mike. We praying to Mike over here, man. That's one of the ancestors. Fuck is you talking about?
Right.
Mike just died. You think Mike the type of spirit that just died don't be around?
No, Mike
a fucking God, nigga. You mention Mike in prayers. Real talk. That's one of the ancestors. We out here doing music. You praying to the rap gods, music gods. Yeah, Mike in there.
Yeah,
you
better.
Put one of the gods of all gods in there. Cause ain't nobody shocked the real and did what the fuck Mike did ever. Remember that shit. And he from Gary.
Facts.
GI shit.
Nah, you know, somebody told me something that Mike did. My cousin was telling me a story about Mike. Mike was a gangster low key too. We not gonna leave that out. Mike, listen, Eminem dissed Michael Jackson, right? Eminem dissed Michael Jackson.
I heard about this shit.
You heard what Eminem did? Eminem dissed Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson bought his entire catalog and couldn't buy it back by itself. He had to buy other catalogs with it because Michael went and sold Eminem's catalog as a package deal with 2 other catalogs. I forget who they were. They were big catalogs though. Sold them like Universal or something, like some mega company. Eminem had to go buy his
Yeah, I heard about this.
That's wild. Mike was a gangster. Mike was a gangster. Then he had some beef with Prince too.
Playing with big boys.
Yeah.
Disrespect. Why would you want to diss Michael Jackson?
Yeah, it's not safe.
We are the world, we are the children.
Not safe.
Why would you want to diss Michael Jackson?
Nah, they wildin'.
Folks go to every country, state.
Bro, he shut it down.
Every country, continent. Folks had people passing out over him in multitude.
I'm a kid one day watching
Passing out. Like spazzing. And I understood that when I was a shorty.
That's what I'm saying. I seen it when I'm a kid.
Passed out around that time. Fuck around. Mike was spinning this shit on the moon and fucking
man.
VHS and shit.
What was that movie he did that was a musical? He did that whole where every moonwalker, every single every scene was a music video, but they all
musical shit. He been doing that type shit. He was man.
He was the first to do all of that. That they said.
Motherfucker babysit me, put that motherfucking mic on, and we just.
That's when he turned into the car. That's when he turned.
When he did all that shit, spinning around, turning into different shit. Man, we be shorties watching that shit. We'd be calm.
Yeah.
They wanted us to behave, put some mic on. Shit. If they would have had YouTube, then we.
So going back to the traveling, out of all the places that you done travel, where's the best food? Is it here, home, or is it overseas? Where have you had the best thing to eat?
London got certain things that's good, but really London food ain't really what it do. I ain't gonna hold you. If you fucking with people who know how to cook, it's different, yeah. I knew some island folks that really showed me love. My main people, they was from St. Lucia.
Yeah.
Those the people who really looked out for me out there when things got jammed up.
So St. Lucia got some of the best food?
They definitely make real Caribbean good food. My dude family, shout out to my dude Jordan. That was my dude over there. That's who I fuck with over there. And he do like security for all the stars and shit, so he had the key to the streets. But as far as food, shit, that London food ain't shit. So it has to be America, and America got good food, I ain't gonna hold you.
But St. Lucia, top number one for right now.
I've never been to St. Lucia. I just said the food.
Oh, the food. So out of the places that you done ate at, where have you eaten the best food at?
Probably the South, for sure.
The South? Yeah.
Miami, Atlanta type shit.
I feel the same way.
Atlanta know how to make some good food.
The only place I've been outside the U.S. was Belize.
Fresh seafood.
I was going to say, I had some good food in Belize, some good fresh seafood.
Matter of fact, though, Mexican food is good as fucking fresh in Mexico. Bro.
In Mexico.
They got some fresh ass, great food. All the food I ate over there was quality. Like everything.
Right.
Especially they seafood. Because I guess probably right out the water right there.
I still feel like New Orleans got the best food, though, for me. I feel like New Orleans got the best.
I ain't been to New Orleans since I was a kid in basketball.
Yeah. Now, Belize had
that food is crazy.
Yeah.
I would be suspect about certain people's food I eat out there though, because they got juju out there and they be putting food. So I have to be watching who a type of person cooking. For
I feel like California got the worst food in the United States. Cali got the worst food in the U.S. I don't fuck with Cali food. I really don't. I don't even know what the fuck I'm buying when I go to Cali. Am I buying paper? Am I buying a cardboard box? Am I buying some vegan shit?
I don't know what they even like known for cooking. They just got basic food. They like burgers and shit and like tacos.
I'll eat an orange.
They got some good ass tacos.
Yeah, I'm lying.
They tacos and taco trucks be busting.
I don't consider that Cali food, but it is. I'm lying. I'm all the way lying. You know what? I take all of that back. Cali got some A1 food when it comes to the taco carts. Yeah, it got to be a cart though. The trucks, yeah, them trucks.
Shout out to Migo now.
You know what? They saved California's reputation on food in this conversation just now. Yeah. They brought them back up.
But
to like
now
top
that you bring
3.
that to my attention, like I was really thinking that. But it's a place I do go to in Cali called Bossa Novas. That shit fire as hell. So when you go back, go to Bossa Novas.
I'm gonna check that out. What do they got? What are they known for?
They got everything in there. They sell multiple shit, but it's a good ass restaurant.
Bossa Novas. I'm gonna check that out.
Sounds like, of course, like chicken and waffles and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Most of the time you just see like burger joints and like shit like that and tacos.
Yeah.
But you definitely gotta watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It'll be trash though, but yeah. Atlanta got some good ass food. I ain't gonna lie. Atlanta got some good ass cooks.
Yeah,
Atlanta. They take pride in cooking.
Absolutely.
Atlanta is a place that introduced me to people coming in your crib. You could pay people to come in your crib and cook.
Nah, Atlanta got some
We didn't got
food.
Cooks like paid them to come to the crib. They come set up everything, clean afterwards. I'm talking about fire ass cooks like in Airbnbs. Like,
yeah,
they cook good food.
There's
man.
this
like,
the female. She be cooking for like 2 Chainz and all them dudes. I forget her name.
Yeah, healthy food too and soul food, all that shit.
Yeah, I've seen that. And I like it. I lived in Atlanta for about a year. I like the food out there. Definitely. When you come to New Orleans, I can't wait for you to really experience the food scene out there. Because I promise you, you're going to go back saying that New Orleans got the best food.
I believe it, though, because I just know I heard so much about it. And I've ate people real New Orleans. I fuck with some New Orleans people. Them some of the first people I met when I first moved to Atlanta. Because that's like when Katrina jumped off. So I know a lot of people from there, and they was cooking some shit in their crib, like real gumbo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, real shit, like the taste. You saw the china.
I'm originally from New York. I feel like New York ain't really got it with the food though.
Man, New York food is street food. It's street
Yeah,
meat.
it's just
all that shit street meat.
Yeah, New York ain't got it with the
Street
food.
meat, and then now they got this fire ass pizza though.
Yeah, the
Get
pizza.
you a good ass pizza slice, but besides that, it's street meat, and then it'd be a bunch of expensive ass crazy shit.
Bunch of
or
nothing.
cheesesteak. They might have fire ass cheesesteaks and shit like that.
Yeah, their cheesesteaks is
You
alright.
can catch
But you know
it
what's
fast.
crazy? And the world is gonna hate me for this. The best Philly cheesesteak I ever had was in fucking New Orleans.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah,
take
you
you
told
to
me
the.
that.
I'm
You
gonna
told
take
me
you to
that.
the spot.
You told me that.
New Orleans got the best cheesesteak. So look, I got another question for you, right? And this got a little bit to do with the music, but like I said, I'll be liking to understand people's perspectives and shit like that. So people say hip hop, right? This is a very controversial question we're gonna get into, right? People say hip hop started and originated in the Bronx, right?
Mhm.
How do you feel about that?
I don't feel like no type of way. Like, it don't really make me feel no type of way specifically because I know hip hop didn't start where I'm from.
Right.
So it ain't really an argument for me. That's how I feel. That's the simplest form.
That's
But
the best answer I ever heard.
I can also say, because it ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
But I can also say, I do feel like hip hop started somewhere in New York, though.
All right, so
You know, just from the facts. I'm saying, like, from
So
facts.
you know what? I'm
Like,
gonna ask you a couple
things that have been dated in hip hop history. That
Right.
shit comes from fucking New
No,
York.
I'm glad you said all of that. All right, perfect.
And
So
that's just me being 100 with my knowledge of it.
right. So
That's
the
just- I'm just
dates
speaking
matter,
on
right? So we're gonna
knowledge
say
of it.
dates definitely count, right? So the dates play a factor in all of this. So if we talk about hip hop, to my understanding, there are 4 elements of hip hop, right? There's graffiti, breakdancing, DJing, and MCing. Those are like the 4 original elements to hip hop. So.
True.
And I'm from New York. New Yorkers hate me for this. We gonna get into some beef, listeners. Y'all gonna hear me? We gonna beef. It's all right. It's all right. Just leave a comment. But they say
But also, no, go ahead.
look, they say that those 4 elements is what make hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
So I know for a fact that the first reporting of these things was graffiti, and it was by a graffiti writer from Philadelphia named Cornbread. And this was way before the 80s when they started rapping and stuff like that. So my question is,
Gotcha.
if 4 elements make this thing, and if graffiti was one of the elements that was publicated first, would it be safe to say that hip hop was maybe born in Philadelphia? Not the music, not hip hop music,
Yeah.
hip hop culture. Would it be safe to say
One of the seeds of it.
that
for
it was
sure.
publicated and
One of the seeds of it for sure, because it's just a fact. If you say it's dated that graffiti started there before that, then we can't
Yeah.
even say that these 4 elements started hip hop. Now we have to take that element off and say these other 3 elements started hip hop.
Exactly.
Because graffiti started over here, and that's a fact.
That's-
And we gotta go out, see, in this world, people like to speak. I try not to speak on nothing that ain't a real fact
right,
of my knowledge.
right,
Meaning I've researched it, you know,
right.
experienced it,
Right.
you know.
And I bring it up because
everything I had to do
I've-
to really
I've-
understand it if it's true fact in it.
exactly, and this is all
I'm gonna speak on
documented.
that shit,
This
you
is
know what I'm
documented,
saying?
so I know
That
Cool
shit
Herc.
be ignorant.
Cool Herc gets the title of the father of hip hop or the grandfather of hip hop. But man, poor Cornbread. It's like that man don't get no recognition. Man, you was tagging and fucking shit up. And it inspired a whole culture and generation of b-boys and all of this stuff that inspired the music. Also,
Like
because
it
the
a
music
seed,
was
like an origin of it.
right,
Sort of like
right.
an origin
Because the
of
music
it.
became the soundtrack to that lifestyle. The graffiti and the breakdancing was first. The graffiti was the first
True.
thing.
That's true. You
So the
speaking
music.
real shit right now. It's making sense. You making
So,
a whole lot of
only
sense.
reason why I bring it up is because I want to help repair some of the damages to the culture. How can we know where we're going if we really don't know where we came from? And I know that culture is very important to you. I can see with the ancestors and everything. So that's why I wanted to bring this conversation up with somebody who I know wouldn't be biased to the facts. Like, you know what I mean? A fact is a fact to you. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to bring this conversation up. And I know a lot of people are not knowledgeable about graffiti, where it comes from, and all these other things. So that's why I brought that up to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So with that being
makes
said,
Yeah.
you think New Yorkers is gonna hate me for this?
I mean, it is what it is. Like I said what I said, but that still don't mean that's truth in that.
Right.
Because I said, I think, you feel me? I'm
Right.
like, I don't really know or like you say.
Right.
So I ain't really speak on it. Just like me saying, you know, a lot of stuff that I know the first. I should have said more or less, the first rappers come from so and so and so and so.
Right. Yeah,
But
they
there's
got
multiple places though.
right.
Niggas is rapping in other places too.
Right.
I would have to go back and look at all the niggas who was like old rappers famous that was like around the same times, because it was definitely niggas that was out. We can name niggas from Cali and the West Coast
So
that was doing their own thing on rap.
that brings me back to my next topic,
thing.
right? The culture vultures. Could it be that maybe our own culture was even with this hip hop culture? Forget all the other culture that they lied to us about. Even with this hip hop culture, for benefit and gain of capitalization and money and monetization, could it be safe to say that maybe they said fuck Cornbread because they can't make money off a graffiti writer, but Cool Herc, wait, this is a DJ. We could throw him in the clubs. He gotta be the father of hip hop. So are these people still painting our fucking history in these niches and in these things that we still think belong to us? So when we think we free, are we really fucking free? And are we doing our own homework and seeing like, yo, where do these things come from? Is Cool Herc really, no disrespect to Cool Herc, but are we investigating these origin stories and these
God shit?
You know?
That's real. That's a real concept right there.
We heading into a new place, and we might lose this history.
You looked at it from a whole nother angle.
Have to. I was born in the 80s.
We only say what we've been taught.
In 2-3 more generations.
So much information out here, you know what I'm saying?
And if it dies without being told the right way, then we fucked.
Like a lot of shit. Like bullshit.
Word, but man, I appreciate having you here. Is there anything that you want to get off your chest, anything that you want to chop it up about? I wanted to pick your brain. This was not really as much of an interview as much as it was like just getting to know who you are. You feel what I'm saying? And understanding you as an artist. That way, when you put out future projects or you put out future pieces of art, now I have a better understanding, and my viewers and my fan base and my audience has a better understanding of who you are, so we can receive the information that you giving us a little bit better. So I don't really like to use the word interview or whatever the case is. I got to know you today.
We just kicking the balls, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any drops, any shout outs, anything before we turn this camera off?
Shout out my brother DJ Rock. Shout out Goldie, my management. DJ Rock been holding me down. Shout out my man Young Glow. He been holding me down on certain things too that got to do with this run. Just real supporters, man. If you've been on this shit, you've been fucking with it, and you ain't come last minute on the ship, hey, I fuck with you. Fuck all these fake ass motherfuckers. All these people playing the game with two faces. You know what I'm saying? We here, we gonna continue to put out the content, the music. Listen to the music, most importantly, just listen to the music. That's all I care about. You get to know the music, you get to know me. Because that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? I put it all on the music, so listen to the music, you get to know me. You get to catch a 2-in-1. You feel me? Without the interview. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the music, listen to the music, listen to the music. Call me, listen to the music. That's it.